Yo, what's happening, guys? Just by signing up, you get $50. By depositing $100, you get another $100 free. And then by taking your first spot or leverage trade, you get $200. So just by using my link, you get $350 to start your journey to success. So guys, I've been teaching for a while. Crypto changed my life, and I want to do tutorials to help you guys on this journey. So enjoy the video, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and make a lot of money. So guys, to start off the major tutorial, there's a couple of things as a beginner you just got to get yourself comfortable with, right? First thing is obviously money in, money out. How to understand that, right? To know that inside of the exchange, there are different wallets. You have a funding wallet, you have a spot wallet, you got a futures wallet. These are different wallets and sections inside of the actual exchange. And you're basically going to move money to these different wallets and when you want to trade these different features, right? And it's so important just to understand, guys. I want to give you guys a little bit of a hint as well, stepping into your trading journey, okay? It all comes down to risk management of money. Okay, spot is a very simple way to make great money over time. Okay, spot and long term, right? Things that you swing and over a couple of years, you make a great amount of money. Then you got things like leverage, which is a little bit more higher risk, okay, but very powerful when you use it for what it's meant to be. Okay, it's meant for shorter term cash. It will not build you long term money, but it will help you on your journey to achieve long term money. So it's something that you use as a tool because it's got higher risk. You need to use it and make the money and move the money and do these sort of things. So risk management is important, and I'll give you basics over here. Me personally, around 70% of my portfolio will sit in long-term assets. Sit in wallets, out of exchanges, things like that, right? Then 20% of my cash will be spot trades. These are non-risk. When I talk about non-risk, you still get the risk of the volatility of the token, but you cannot be liquidated of your funds, right? If you get things incorrect, okay? And what I do with that is 20%, I catch the bigger 2-3 month swings. Every 2 months, I'm buying, then I'm taking profits, I'm buying, I'm taking profits, right? And then what you have is around the 5 to 10% mark, which is your leverage trading part. So when you have these different wallets, all that basically means is you are splitting up your money from a little bit lower risk, medium risk, and high risk as well, okay? And by doing that, you're not going to put all your eggs in one basket, and you're going to start to become a very diversified trader. So by knowing how to put money in, out, and move it from wallet to wallet, you're getting comfortable with the basic system. And I want to show you guys that within this specific tutorial as well. Then the important thing is, how do I buy, okay? How do I sell? How do I buy and sell when I am sleeping or away from my computer? I don't have time to sit and stare at the screen. Okay. How do I then put a stop loss? How do I protect my funds if things go wrong when I'm not at my computer? Right. And how do I take profits when I'm doing? How do I manage my portfolios? How do I see this information? These are the main things that I want to accomplish in this tutorial today for you guys, to make sure that you are just comfortable with the basics. Now, inside of the exchanges, you're also going to have a bunch of advanced tools. These are things you can add to your game later. I personally managed to make a living on crypto and build my way within crypto off of the basics. Then later on, you can learn all the fancy tools. They always say, get the basics right, then start tweaking. And the moment you start struggling when you're tweaking, go straight back to the basics. So don't underestimate the basics. You're going to use the basics a lot in your career. Okay, especially if you want to be here for the long run and really start to live on crypto and use the opportunity. So that's very important. So I'm going to show you in this specific tutorial the basics and how to get really going. And remember, risk management, the amount of money that you can put into places. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. Once you have signed up, email in, password in, you drop in over here, right? And you get your main dashboard. Another thing that's also super important is your security. So make sure if you click on this little icon over here and you go to account and security, that you put a second line of defense, just something else. So when you log in, something else needs to come through. So there's 3 ways to do this, specifically with this exchange. You have the email, which means it will send you an email with a code and you put that code in and then it will allow you through. Okay, you have your phone number, and then you have something called Google Authentication app, right? And this is something that you can also go Google and see how it works. But what it is it's an app that you download on your phone that has no username and password. It's just the app that generates this number that changes every 60 seconds. Okay, so when you want to enable and you click this button over here, I want to start and use my Google authentication. what it will do is it will tell you to scan a QR code. It will give you a QR code. So you go onto your app store, you download the app, okay, and you'll see when you open up the app, it will say that you can scan a code, and you'll scan that code. Then what it's going to do is it's going to generate a six-digit code that will reset every 30 seconds. Okay, and what that basically means, it's very hard for someone to guess that code because it's changing every 30 seconds. Okay, but what's very important, guys, is that has no username and password, that app. So that QR code that you scan, you must take a photo of it, print it, and put it in a safe place. Because if you ever lose your phone or your device, okay, you are losing that code and that Google Authenticator, which means when you download that authenticator on a new phone, that code won't be there anymore. You'll have to rescan that QR code to get it back. Okay, so make sure you've got a backing somewhere with someone safe in a safe place. Don't leave it on your computer either. If your computer gets stolen, it's gone, right? Just these little basic things. Okay, so just add in a bit of security. And now let's jump into a couple of things. So guys, I'm going to show you a few things over here. This is where obviously you'll buy if you want to use fiat and get within crypto. Then you have your markets. This is where you'll see all the different tokens, right, that are inside of the exchange. So you can see on the futures, which is leverage, these are all the tokens that you get. Okay, and remember, a lot of these tokens get traded to a stable coin, which is called USDT. Basically, it's similar to the dollar. It's the crypto dollar, right? Which is a stable coin, and then you have an asset that is fluctuating, going up and down and things. So whatever you're getting in, you're taking your stable coin, getting into the coin that is fluctuating. Whatever you're selling back into a stable coin. Okay, so this, you could see next to everything is USDT, USDT, USDT. Okay, and if you go to spot, you can see all of the different tokens. You can even go look at new tokens that are coming to the platform and top gainers. Now guys, when it comes to me trading tokens, right, a lot of people say, which tokens do I trade and all of that. There's a few aspects that you want to look at when trading token. The number one thing is volume. Okay, volume is very, very, very important to understand that you can get in and out of that token with ease and not lose too much money. Remember, in order to buy something, someone must be selling, right? In order to sell, someone must be buying. Now, if there's not a lot of buyers on a token and you are trying to sell, it's going to have to sell to multiple people to get you out, and you may end up losing a bit of money by doing that, especially if there's no volume. Okay, and the other side of that is if you have, I'll show you what a limit order is called, and you have money sitting there that you want to sell, but there's not enough volume, it might only sell 3% of your position and then reject. Okay, and then you don't sell out completely. So it's so important that when you're trading a token, you're looking for some volume, right? Very, very, very important. And that's why I do like this exchange personally. They do have great volume, but always pay attention to volume. Okay, and then the next thing as well, when it comes to the token, is the volatility of the token too. Very important to understand. If you can see recently the token's been pumping 20%, okay, and then it's been dropping to, like, understand that margin for error gets less. Okay, if you make a mistake on a very volatile token, you can go into a 10-20% drawdown pretty quickly. Okay, so you get a little bit more conservative tokens, which are your higher market cap. If the token is worth more money, it usually fluctuates a lot less versus tokens that are cheaper. They don't have as much, not worth as much. So they move a lot quicker, more volatile. So always pay attention to the volatility as well. If it's very important money, less volatile tokens. If it's some money that you want to grow on the side and you're willing to take on the risk, more volatile tokens. And always make sure there is volume. Okay, then let's jump back in over here. So that's where you'll find all of your tokens. Then you have the trading section. This is where your spot trades will happen. Okay, over here. Remember, these are ones that you buy and sell, and I'll just show you the platform over here quickly so that you can see it. Okay, so here you could see on the left is your order book. A order book is where the people are selling, the amounts of people selling, and the amounts of people that are buying. And inside the middle here, you have your price. Okay, so if there's more people buying than selling, price will go up. More people selling than buying. Well, it's not just people, it's the amounts that are being sold, right? Whichever way it's leaning, price will basically go. So remember, crypto it's you against millions, right? That's exactly what it is. It's you against people that are in. When you're taking profits, someone's buying. You know, when you are buying, someone's taking profits, right? That's how it works in the game. So here is the order book. On the top is where you'll select your tokens. So this section over here is where you'll select your tokens. You can see under spot here, there's all your different tokens that you can choose from. You'll see the prices, the highs and lows in the last 24 hours, and you see the volume that I was speaking about. If you have a certain amount of money, for example, $100, and you find a token that has at least 100 million and plus volume, you'll be okay, right? But if you got $1 million and you're trading a token that's got $50 million and stuff, you're very likely to buy from a lot and get slippage and lose on that as well. So if you're trading with a lot of money, right, you got to understand that you want higher volume. So Bitcoin's always perfect. Like, he has over 2 billion, right, for the last 24 hours, and that's good. That's enough for you to get in and out and not really concerned too much. Then below that, you have obviously the chart. And if you go down there, you've got two ways that you can buy and sell in this market. Okay, the one is called a limit and the one is called a market. Okay, now a limit order, guys. Limit order, you have control of the price, but not the time. And what that basically means, this is when you want to be patient and wait for your buys and sells. Okay, and you are not at your computer. You don't have to stare at the screen. Okay, you want to put something in and go do your thing. And if it gets to that price, it must activate for you. Okay, so if Bitcoin, for example, is at $60,000 or $100,000, right? Let's say $100, $1,000 as an example, but you really think that 92,000 is where it's going to go, and that's where you want to buy, you can actually put a limit order at that $92,000 zone. Okay, and that means your money will sit in the order book and it will sit at 92,000. And if you are busy with something and price comes down and hits that 92,000, it will buy it for you automatically. Okay, and it's the same thing when it comes to selling. If you are holding Bitcoin, okay, and you want to sell, you think it's going to go to 110,000, and that's where you want to sell. You want to take profits, right? You can then set a limit order for 110,000, and if you're doing something and price it's 110,000, and there is another person that's buying or selling the other side, okay, then it will sell automatically for you and take profits. So limit orders are used when it comes to patience. Okay, you either want to buy cheaper or you've already bought and you want to sell later, and you want to set that in so if you're not at the computer, it goes through. The second one is market. Okay, now I'm explaining these things now because when I get into the leverage section, I'll be able to go through nice and quick when it comes to the platform. Now, market is the quickest way to get in and out of a market or out of a token, okay? But you don't have control of the price. Now, what that means is if you look at the left-hand side over here, you will see there is sellers and buyers, right? So if you want to market buy into this specific token, what it's going to do is it's going to take the nearest amount of the token that you want to buy, okay, which might be one person or it might be 5 people. And it will buy, it will basically, those that are selling, it will buy from them. So you might end up buying from multiple people to fill the position that you want. Okay, which means you might not get the exact price. Now, again, if you have good volume, it will be very close to the price that you're at now. But let me show you an example. Here is 97,820. I could buy $1 million, right? And I can end up getting an entry price of 97,900. So I'll lose that little percentage over there because it had to buy from this person, this person, this person, this person over here. Okay, but it is the quickest way to get in and out. Okay, and it's the same to the downside as well. If you want to sell, it will sell from multiple buyers within the market. Okay, but it's the easiest way to get in and out. So, for example, token is breaking trend. News is going to come out. These sort of things. You want to get in or out as quick as possible. Okay, market is the way to basically do that. Okay, so that's how you buy and sell when it comes to using the actual spot facility over there. Then let's now jump back to the dashboard over here and let's go to the up section on top. Okay, and let me show you guys the next section. Then you got all of these things. Again, copy trading, you need to know a little bit more about it, right? Bots, you need to know more. All of these things are more. So the basics is very important. Now we go to the futures. This is leverage. So this is a tutorial, but I also give a crap about people, right? I want to make sure that I can teach you a little bit about these things so that if you dip your toes into the leverage world now, I want you to succeed. I'm a person that started on leverage, like everyone, right? You started leverage, and I got very stuck in the beginning because I put all my money into leverage, okay, and I would make money and I would lose it all, make money, lose it all, fell into depression, all these sort of things, and it kind of scared me. And a lot of people have this scare around leverage because it can liquidate you. You can lose all your money, right? And I was the same over there. I was using it to build my life. I was trying to get rich very quickly, okay, and that's something that. Guys, it's 4 years in my journey now, and I can say I've changed my whole life financially. That was not a long time. Okay, and already in my first about a year and a half, I was already at a really good point financially. That's not a long time, but people try to get rich overnight. Okay, and this is where leverage can maybe work against you because you're going to rush it, and you need to understand that there's risks to it too. okay? But it's very powerful as well. So for example, I would go all in and trade, and what it did is it made me rich and poor for 3 months, okay? And I actually got nowhere. In the 3 months, I basically had less money than what I started with, okay? Then what I started doing, because when I was doing that time, I was trying to make all the money very quickly. But what I then started doing was I was desperate. I didn't have a job. I had to pay for food and pay for electricity, and I had to basically trade for way smaller things. And I started achieving it. I started paying everything one by one by actually trading, taking profits, and moving on, and trading and taking profits and getting in and out. And for me, what it taught me was it taught me that step by step to the journey is how you achieve it, right? And building slower, they say slow down to speed up. And that for me was a very powerful saying and a very powerful way to sort of understand it. Okay. So by putting all your money into this, you are going to increase your emotions a lot. And that's not what you want to do. This is a tool that's very powerful to achieve shorter term goals and to get you where you need to get. Now, what is leverage? Leverage is a way that you can borrow money from the exchange. You can play with more money than what you actually have. Now, in any finance world, anything in the world, it's very hard to get a loan, right? They're going to check your name, takes a couple of weeks or a couple of days. It's quite tough. Where here, in a matter of seconds, you can play with a lot more money than what you actually have. Okay, but that's the pro. The con to that is they will borrow you the money. Okay, but if the trade goes against, you make an error, like you saying it's going to go up and it goes down to a certain point, they can actually take the collateral that you have put down. Okay, so again, you are putting down collateral as example, $1,000, and you saying I want to play with 5 times more than what I got. Okay, and if price goes down to a certain point and you didn't have a stop loss or anything to protect you, it can liquidate the account. Now, this is devastating, okay, when that's all your money, right? That's how a lot of people get wrecked within crypto. But if it's a very small percentage and you understand that this money is at risk, so the way that I think is when I trade with leverage, it's not, I got $1,000, I'm going to go all in. I say, okay, this thing's risky, but I can also play with way more than what I got. So I don't need to risk a lot of my money. So if I got $1,000 for leverage, I'm going to trade $100 at a time. Because what that means is if I maybe struggle with the 100 and I end up getting chopped up and price comes down lower, I can redeploy another 100 and get prices that cheaper. Okay. And what that does is it told me that I must play with more lives versus just put all my money in, because I'll make one mistake, that's me gone, bye, right? And then crypto's a scam, it sucks, all these sort of things. Like, that's not true. Okay, you just don't know how to risk your money. Okay, so by you being able to borrow this money is powerful, but to the downside, it does come with a lot of risk. Okay, that's why giving yourself more lives and achieving your goals. So what do I use leverage for? I use leverage to take away small problems in my life. Okay. For example, if I'm going on a family trip this weekend, I will take a trade to pay for my fuel for that trip and maybe some of the accommodation, which means I'm in for a day or two, I'm taking some profits and I'm paying for the trip. If I try pay for the whole year of trips in one trade, okay, I'm going to make money, but then one bad trade is going to wipe it out. I'm going to end up not going on any trips. So to achieve the steps to your goal, while you have a spot account and a long-term account running in the background, that's your true wealth to make you money. You are using leverage to pay off your debt. You are using it to help pay your rent. You are using it so that you can use that money to rather put into your long-term. So you use it as that way to do it, and it becomes very, very, very powerful as well. The next thing is risk management. Putting a stop loss and understanding risk to reward, which means if you buy right now, you need to know what's the worst scenario. How low can this token go if I get it wrong? Okay. And if I get it right, what's the best scenario? And if getting it right is this big and get it wrong is this big, that's a terrible trade. But if it's the other way around, where if I get it wrong, I'm going to lose 5%, but if I get it right, I'm going to make 50%, that's a good trade. So you always need to know that a stop loss is there to protect you, right? So if you get it wrong, it will stop you out, which means if you bought and went long right now, long means going up, short means going down. If you go long right now, okay, and you say, okay, I got $1,000, okay, and this is where I want my stop. I don't want to lose more than $50. And price comes down and hits your stop loss. It will sell your position out for only a $50 loss versus being in the position and the market comes all the way down and you're sitting in a, the benefit of that is you get to buy cheaper by getting stopped out. You have a little bit less money, but you're still alive and you didn't get wiped out. Okay, now that we got that, let's jump straight into it. Top left-hand side is your tokens. Below that is the chart. With CoinW, it's amazing. You can draw on your charts. Okay, I am a TA analyst, so I use TA. Okay, and I know that if I want to buy something, or for example, here's all your tools, your drawing tools, and this tool is very important over here. It's called a long position tool, which means if I want to buy, I click it over here and I say, where do you want to put your stop loss? I want to put it over there at that price. Where do you want to take profits? I want to do it over there. This green part must be way bigger than your red. But what it also does is you see on the right-hand side over here, it tells you where to put your stop loss. It gives the actual number over there. Okay, and on the top side, it gives you that actual number over there as well. Okay, so it already gives you your two zones of what you want. So when you've done your analysis, may it be fundamentals, remember, it doesn't matter what technique you use, whatever, you just need to think risk to reward, right? It's got to give you a strategy and something to actually do and to understand it. Okay, so you can use this whole chart section and you got all the time frames at the top. Then what you have on the right-hand side is your order book. Okay, and now let's get to where the magic happens. So you could see in this area over here, you got this trade section. This is where you're going to be trading, right? Then what you have below that is something called isolated and cross. Okay, and you got merge and split. Now let me explain this to you for a second. This is the mode that you are going to trade in. Now there's two ways that this works. The one is called cross, and what that means is all the money that's inside of this wallet, remember, whatever's in your futures wallet does not affect your spot wallet, right? So this is money that's on its own. But the money inside of here, if you open 3 trades, okay, cross means it's combining everything together. It's taking all those trades and it's combining. And it's taking any money that you have in the account and it's adding that into. So what that means is if you open up a long and a long and a long, okay, and 2 go good and 1 goes bad, that bad one can actually take from the good ones. It can take the profits out there and take the money as well, right? As it's going to profit or loss. And if that trade goes bad enough to get liquidated, I can actually close all of the positions. Plus, if you had $1,000 in your futures account and you're only trading with 100, if that 100 starts going into a loss, it can start taking from the 1,000. So for me personally, guys, if you are new stepping into leverage trading, isolated is the way. Cross is a little bit more advanced because it does have an upside. The upside is if your trades start going correct, okay, you can actually start using the profits to add to your trades. So it will give you more and more money as you are making your way up. So it becomes very good. But guys, stop worrying about just making so much. Worry about being having control of your money, okay, and actually understanding it. Then you make a lot of money in a very short period of time by trying to not make a lot of money in a very short period of time, by actually going step for step. So what you have here is your 2 modes. You have your cross and your isolated. Okay, the isolated means that trade is isolated. It's on its own. So if you got $1,000 in over there, and you got $100, the 900 stays there. It will not be affected. If you got 10 trades, if one goes bad, it won't affect the other trades. And the only downfall you have there is you can't use the profits to add more to that trade. And that's fine. You've already worked out. Remember, you can trade as much money as what you want. And I'm going to explain that in a sec. Okay, so there's your modes. Then what you have is merge and split. Guys, merge is the easiest way to start. It basically means that you can take a long on Bitcoin, okay, and it's any longs that you take more on Bitcoin, it will add it all in one trade. If you split it, you can open a long. You can open separate positions, which is more advanced. Merge is simple. It keeps it all together. Okay, then what you have here is leverage. Okay, so the way this basically works is if you set this number, it can go all the way up to 50x, which sounds amazing. You can play with 50 times more money than what you got, right? But 100% divided by 50 is 2%, right? That's what it means, that if the coin comes down by 2%, you will get liquidated. If the coin goes up by 2%, you will double your money. Okay, so if you look at this meter, basically, let me explain it from the beginning. A 1x means there's no leverage. You're not borrowing any money from the exchange. A 2x means you are playing with 2 times more money than what you got. 100% divided by 2 is 50%, which means your coin would have to go down 50% to get liquidated. And it would have to go up 50% for you to double your money. Where previously it would have to, if you didn't have any leverage, you'd have to get 100%, right? And 100% to the downside, the coin would have to go to 0 for you to lose all your money. So a 2, 3, 4x is determining how much you want to borrow, but the higher you go, the more your risk starts to go. Now, guys, you don't want to go to a point of liquidation. You want stop losses involved. Okay, so another little hint as well is when you're learning your journey, start on a 2x and understand the game. Okay, start with learning money first. Because a lot of people come in, oh, the coin's going to pump, I'm going to be rich now. Guys, I've been in 4 years now. Relax. The market is here every day. It will be, set yourself up success for the long term, right? And what that basically means, you start at a 2x. And what you could actually do when you start getting more comfortable is when you get the trade correct, you can actually go and change the leverage to a 3x and you can add the money in, which means if I had $1,000 and I'm on a 2x, they're giving me $1,000. So I'm playing with $2,000, right? And if I get the trade right and I change it to a 3x and I buy the money in as well, now they give me another $1,000, $3,000. But what is the first thing? The first thing is I needed to get the trade correct so that I can move my stop loss above entry so that I have no risk. Then I can start taking on more risk. Okay, so this is how it works. You can borrow in and out from the actual exchange. The moment that you open up a trade, the money will be borrowed. The moment that you close the trade, the money will be paid back. So you don't have to do that. It's all automated and all done for you over there. So that is where you'll select your actual thing. So in this example over here, I am going to put a 2x, which means I'll play with 2 times more money than what I got. Then what you have here is market and limit. Again, the ways you're going to get in and out of the token. I'll open a trade for you guys now. And then just below that, when you're about to open up your trade in either way, okay, you can set a take profit and a stop loss, which means if price goes down to a certain point, it will stop you out, basically protect you from too many losses. And if it goes up and it hits your zone, it will take profit for you automatically. So that's that section over there. Below this is the money. Okay, so I just want to show you, there's your available balance. But you see, because I'm on a 2x, so the money that I have in this account right now is $127. Okay, but if I want to buy right now, I can buy $254. Why? Because 127 times 2. So it gives me 2 times more than what I actually got. Okay, so let's open up a position. I'm going to go market. I want to buy into Cardano as an example right now on a market buy. So if I go over here, this is the percentage of the money that you want to spend over here on the position. So I'm going to go 100% as an example. Okay, and then I'm going to say, okay, click on this button here. Where do I want to put my stop loss? Okay, at 0.988. So 0.988. Where do I want to take profits? Okay, at 1.15. So just click this in over here, 1.15. There we go. Okay, now I can go long. Again, longing is going up. Remember, with leverage, you can also short. The market's coming down, you can short the market as well. So there, I want to go long, and I click it over here. This will confirm, and you see how it gives me a liquidation price. This is when I will lose all my money. Okay, that's why a stop loss is very important. But I would need this token to drop to 50 cents, and I will get liquidated. Click confirm, and what will happen is you'll see that below here at the bottom, this is your little bars that give you all your information when you are trading. You click on positions. Okay, and you can see that it opened up my position. I'm trading Cardano on a 2x. That is the amount of money that it's used in total. That is my average entry price. An average entry price basically shows that if you had $1,000 and you bought $100 over here and $100 over here and $100 over here, it will take all of them and put them into one average entry price. Okay, that's what that whole combined thing at the top, the merge, what it does for you. Okay, so you got your average entry price. The margin is how much money you put in. The market is the market price of that token right now. There is your leverage. And the P&L is how much are you up and down on that percentage. You got a percent on that trade. You got a percentage and you got actual dollars over here as well. Okay. And what's nice, if you click on the orders here, is you could see that under the TP and SL section over here is where your take profit and stop loss will be set in, which is amazing. Okay. So that shows you that that's where it is. Okay. And fantastic. So going back over here, this is your basic board and your basic dashboard over here as well. Okay, and then going back here to the main section, this is where you'll find your cash. And let me also just close this. So you see these sections over here. The reverse, more advanced, guys. You don't want to get into that right now. You can basically flip from a long to a short, but keep it simple, right? Then you got the close and close by market. Close by market means close it right now for the nearest price you can and get me damn out, right? Boom, it's now closed. Okay, and you can see I basically lost $1, nearly half $1 that I basically lost by doing that. Okay, now let me show you guys a short. A short, same thing. Now remember, a short means you are thinking the price is going to go down. So now what you do is you go here to the short tool and you click this over here. You say, okay, I want to make money to the downside. So I think this token's going to drop to 92. Okay, but if it gets to 105, get me out because I don't want to lose too much money, right? Remember, if it goes up now, you lose money. If it goes down, you make money. Okay, so the same thing. You click in your take profit. You could see that my stop loss I want at 1.04, that number over there. That's why this tool is very simple for you to get going with. Okay. And my take profit is at 0.93. 0.93. Okay. And now I go short. Boom. And what it does, open up my trade and put my stop loss and that in over there. So guys, very basic and good way to start your leverage journey. Take it nice and easy. Remember, leverage is not here to build you long-term wealth, but it's there to be a part and to help you to get your long-term wealth over there as well. Keep it simple, learn the basics, okay? I got very far for the basics, and then start playing around. And whenever you start getting stuck, come back to the basics over here. Guys, remember, if you have not opened an account just yet and you watched the tutorial first, remember to use the link below in the description. Fantastic deals that are by using that link as well, by getting into my school. Like, I have a free school, Sniper School, which is amazing, doesn't cost you anything. Okay, so you'll find that link below as well in the description over here. Guys, trade well, have a fantastic journey. I wish you the best. And remember, you have the Crypto Banter show that I do every day to help you guys and show you what I'm doing within the market. But stay strong, stay good out there, and have a fantastic journey. See you all soon. Much love.